When my 2-year-old daughter didn't want to try her leafy greens, I honored her choice. I didn't bring attention to the leafy greens so she can try them, and I didn't tell her to give them a try. For some parents, this often causes anxiety when their vegan infant, toddler, or child doesn't want to try a certain vegetable. And while your feelings are valid, I want you to know that there is a way for you to never feel that way again. You can help your vegan child have a better relationship with food and be willing to try new plant foods on their own without you having to bribe them into taking one bite, without you having to show your frustration, or have the meal end in tears for both you and your child. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a very simple and tasty recipe that you can use to help your vegan kids try certain plant foods. The focus of this recipe is tahini, which is a great ingredient to have at home as it provides several key nutrients to support your child's growth on a vegan diet, which I'll mention what those specific nutrients are later in the video. I love this recipe so much. It's actually the only dressing I make these days, and I'm excited to share it with you. Tahini is a staple in my household because it can be used in many different ways in the kitchen. It can be used as a substitute for nut butters in baking if your child has a nut allergy. You can stir in soups for flavor or simply to thicken. You can drizzle on falafel or toast, or you can use it as the base for a dip or dressing, like how we will be using it in today's recipe. Alright, let's make the dressing, and after we do that, I'll tell you all about the nutritional profile of tahini and how you can use it in your child's meals. To make the dressing, we're going to use half a cup of tahini. Then we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to add a layer of depth and flavor. We'll add our dried spices of garlic powder, onion powder, and dried dill. To this, we'll add about 4 teaspoons of nutritional yeast, and then to round out the flavor, we're going to add about 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Tahini thickens when mixed with an acid like lemon juice, so we're going to add about 1/4 cup of water to thin it out. Now that we have all of our ingredients, we're just going to whisk until everything is incorporated. Now this recipe is versatile because you can make it into a creamy sauce, a thin dressing, or even a dip. You can add more or less water depending on the thickness you like. To make this serve as a dip, you can leave the recipe as is, but if you'd like for it to be more creamy, add a few additional tablespoons of water until you reach the desired consistency. I like to add some iodized salt to my dressing because it really brings out all the flavors of each ingredient. I recommend omitting the salt if you're making this for your infants under the age of 12 months. And if you're making this for your toddler or child over the age of 1 year old, half a teaspoon of salt would be sufficient for the entire recipe. You can find the link to the full recipe in the description below. One of the reasons I use tahini as a staple ingredient at home is because of its nutritional profile. Tahini helps meet calories, fat, iron, and calcium. Many vegan moms, just like yourself, often want to know what foods are essential to support a proper growth and development for their vegan child. And one of those is tahini. When you incorporate tahini in your meal planning, you're helping your vegan child not only meet their calorie needs, but calcium and iron too, which are key nutrients to helping your child grow strong and healthy on a vegan diet. So if there's anything you want to add to your grocery list for this week, I encourage you to write down tahini. This tahini dressing was something I created one day to add to a faro bowl. In reality, I was searching online for a vegan ranch dressing recipe, but nothing I read online sounded tasty. So I decided to make my own. And between you and me, it's actually far better than any vegan ranch I've bought at the grocery store. On this particular day, when I served faro bowls, where all the ingredients were mixed together, it was something that my daughter was still trying to get used to. For most toddlers, they're still learning to be comfortable with the idea of their food touching. Because of that, I wasn't sure what my daughter would do with this specific meal. It can sometimes be a hit or miss with her, and that's typical for toddlers her age. So to help her with this new concept of having mixed foods, I allowed my daughter to pour her own dressing. Allowing her to do this on her own gave her a sense of autonomy or independence with her food. It can be messy at first, but it's important to let them have control so they learn new skills and also be aware that we trust them. When we allow our vegan kids to have independence around the dining table, making their own food choices, they are more likely to want to try a food. And that's exactly what happened with my daughter. She tried her Faro bowl because she had control over what her bowl looked like, making it more exciting to want to try it. Faro bowls have now become one of our frequent meal rotations simply because my daughter enjoys it, allowing all of us to have a pleasant meal together. So if you're feeling frustrated at the idea that your vegan child doesn't want to try their broccoli or green beans, perhaps letting them have some independence at meal times might help with that. Children crave for independence. They want to have a choice, and they can do so through their actions, making them feel more fulfilled. By serving this tahini recipe as a dressing or dip and inviting your vegan child to pour the designated amount they choose to add to their meal or bowl, they get to have some sort of engagement with their meal. They get to see the process of preparing their meal. And this is what helps them want to try their food and move forward toward liking those foods. At the same time, you will feel more at ease knowing that they're getting what they need to meet those key nutrients of iron, calcium, and calories to support their growth. Let me know how your vegan child liked the dressing and share a photo with me on Instagram. If you'd like even more recipe ideas for your vegan kids, check out the Vegan Kids Cookbook, where I share simple recipes that meet the nutritional needs for kids following a vegan diet. It also includes a 3-day meal plan with breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack ideas so that you never feel stuck again on what to prepare. Thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, be sure to share it with another vegan mom who may be struggling with getting their kids to try their vegetables. See you next time.